Psalm 2, verse 9. And as a reminder, the Kyrios, or Divine Father, has been speaking to the anointed Son, and he's also been speaking as well, the Son has. And now we're going to continue with this sort of divine conversation between these two. Poimanes altus in chrabdos sidera, hoskiuos kerameos sun tripses altus. Well, this first verb here, poimanes, you see a second singular ending, EIS. The circumflex, though, tells you that a contraction has taken place. It is a liquid with the N. This is a slightly modified spelling of poimino in the future. This is a second singular future active indicative. You will shepherd, and you will shepherd them, referring back to the nations and the ends of the earth introduced in the prior verse. Now, that verb there is quite interesting. If you look up Psalm 2:9 in a standard English translation derived from the Hebrew, it will say you will break them or even shatter them or something like that. And it all goes down to the underlying Hebrew, which here is tiroe. There are two different ways you could unpack that verb. It could either be ra'ah or ra'ah, and those sound the same. The first one means break or shatter. The second one means to shepherd with the hay here. Clearly, the Greek translator has opted for this second option with the use of poimino. And so that's quite interesting. Here you have a very different way in which this anointed kingly figure is behaving. He's shepherding the nations as opposed to crushing them. Interesting translational issue, all going back to a different way of taking the underlying Hebrew. And he's going to shepherd them with a rod. In rhabdo here, rhabdos means rod. And it's a rod of iron. Siderus here means made of iron. And obviously here it's dative to match the dative of rhabdo due to the N. And then, that's interesting. We have a verb here with an object. Now we have the object followed by the verb. So it's sort of chiastic in structure. Skuos. Skuos means a vessel or a pot or something like that. It's a very generic word. It can even just mean thing. But in this case, it's a vessel. And it's a vessel, kerameos here. Kerameus is a potter. And so this is actually it's a third declension word. This is a genitive, so it's the vessel of a potter. Suntripses, yet another second singular with the EIS. You see a S baked in here, the second singular future active indicative. It's from suntribo, which means to smash or to break or something like that. And we round it out with the altus. So notice the nice elegant structure here. Poimanes altus and tripses altus, and then you have two different sort of metaphorical ways in which you're describing the shepherding and the breaking with a rod of iron or shattering like a ceramic vessel of some sort. Now, the Greek form of Psalm 2:9 shows up 3 times in the book of Revelation, in 2:27, 12:5, and 19:15. Revelation, of course, is well known for not having any direct citations with a, as it has been written kind of thing. But the Old Testament, of course, is all over the place in the book of Revelation. And sometimes it's rather verbatim, as is the case here. So it's referring to Jesus filling this role. And poimane altus, of course, matches what we've seen. And chrabdos sidera matches what we've seen. Slight modification. We have a pluralization of skue here from skuos. Slight difference in keramus versus keramika, but it's the same basic idea. And then we go from a second singular suntripses to a suntribetai, sort of pivoting to a middle/passive ending there. But the basic essence is the same. So Jesus is now understood to be the one, as we've seen multiple times in the New Testament unpacking of Psalm 2. He is now the one who is the ruler of all. He's going to shepherd all the nations with this rod of iron, but he's also going to bring judgment as well. What I find to be kind of strange, though, in the translation is most English translations, instead of reading shepherd here, will often say rule. I'm not 100% sure why. That's kind of fair game, but poimino is typically a shepherding word. But some do mention shepherd as the actual Greek word there in the Greek. It could be that they're trying to bring a little bit closer to what the MT is of Psalm 2:9. But either way, just reiterates how this particular psalm is extremely important for the New Testament understanding of the person and work of Jesus.